This is the Kingdom of Bhutan, a small, breathtaking country tucked between India and China, with a population less than 1 million people, known for its majestic mountains, ancient monasteries, and a unique philosophy that measures success by gross national happiness instead of GDP. But beneath the scenic surface, Bhutan is making a surprising move into one of the most cutting-edge financial innovations of our time: Bitcoin mining. For decades, Bhutan has prioritized environmental sustainability and cultural preservation over rapid industrialization, and it's the world's only carbon-negative country, protected by a constitution mandate to protect at least 60% of its land under forest cover. Yet Bhutan is not stuck in the past. In fact, the country is enabling technology in a way that few outsiders expected. And as the king of the country once said, being a small nation makes us a smart nation. Not out of choice, but out of necessity. And technology is an indispensable tool that will be necessary to realize this aspiration. This statement has become a guiding principle as Bhutan stepped quietly but boldly into the digital economy. Despite its strong environmental credentials and spiritual focus, Bhutan faced a serious problem. The tourism industry, which contributes more than 10% of Bhutan's GDP, was severely impacted by COVID-19. Before the pandemic, Bhutan's tourism sector was booming. In 2019, the country welcomed 300,000 visitors, a major source of foreign currency and local employment. However, in March of 2020, Bhutan made the difficult decision to close its borders entirely to protect its citizens. The impact was pretty immediate as well as devastating. Tourist arrivals dropped to nearly zero for over 2 years. Businesses reliant on tourism, hotels, guides, transportation, companies, artisans faced massive closures and job loss. Many Bhutan workers were forced to seek alternative livelihoods or immigrate. Even after reopening its border in September of 2022, Bhutan struggled to revive tourism. Only around 103,000 visitors came to the country in 2023, about a third of the pre-pandemic levels. To make matters work, Bhutan introduced a $100 sustainable fee per tourist per night to promote high-value, low-volume tourism. While aligned with conservative goals, it made Bhutan a more expensive destination, limiting recovery. Tourism was once a key pillar supporting local economies and small businesses, and has yet to return to its former strength. This collapse intensified the urgency for Bhutan to find an alternative economic pathway, making Bitcoin mining an even more strategic choice. Bhutan's economy is deeply intertwined with its abundant hydropower resources. Hydropower exports mainly to India account for roughly 10% of Bhutan's GDP and 60% of its total merchandise exports. About a third of the government's revenue come from hydropower sales, funding critical development projects like roads, schools, and healthcare. This heavy reliance on hydropower comes with risk. Hydropower generation depends on seasonal river flows, making the economy vulnerable to climate change as well as droughts. During dry periods, Bhutan sometimes needs to import electricity, which impacts its trade balance and export earnings. This sector, while capital intensive and profitable, employs only about 1% of Bhutan's workforce, necessitating broader economic diversification. By turning surplus green energy into digital assets like Bitcoin, Bhutan is finding a really innovative way to leverage its natural advantages over navigating the risks tied with hydropower dependency. The Prime Minister has acknowledged these challenges, emphasizing that Bhutanese jobs cannot compete with the wages offered in developed nations. Faced with these economic pressures, Bhutan decided to take a really interesting path. In 2019, through its sovereign wealth fund, the DHI, Bhutan quietly began investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Unlike most governments that acquire Bitcoin through law enforcement seizures, Bhutan mines its own. By early 2024, blockchain analytics from intelligent companies estimate that Bhutan's Bitcoin holding has surpassed $780 million, representing a staggering 27% of the nation's total GDP. Bhutan's Bitcoin is not a byproduct of chance. It's really the result of deliberate strategic mining operations that converts excess hydropower into digital wealth. The country offers an almost ideal environment for Bitcoin mining. They have an abundance of hydropower. Bhutan generates more renewable energy electricity than it consumes, offering an endless supply of clean energy. It also has a cold climate with an average temperature of 15 Celsius to 30 Celsius year-round. The cooling costs for mining hardware are dramatically reduced as a result. It is also a politically stable country, a peaceful constitutional monarchy with a consistent leadership vision, as well as a government commitment to using technology to secure economic reliance while preserving traditional values. The Prime Minister also explained this logic that during the summer months there were more water flows and hydropower plants generating more energy than needed. That's where Bitcoin mining makes tremendous sense. In specialized high-altitude data centers scattered across Bhutan, rows of powerful computers work around the clock solving complex cryptographic puzzles. These mining centers validate Bitcoin transactions and earn newly minted Bitcoin as a reward. More importantly, they run entirely on Bhutan's abundant renewable hydropower. When electricity prices for exports to India are favorable, Bhutan sells the power. But when rates are low, Bhutan redirects surplus energy into mining Bitcoin, effectively converting otherwise unused electricity into high-value digital assets. Currently, Bhutan operates 6 cryptocurrency mining centers. Between July 2021 and July 2023 alone, the DHI invested approximately $500 million into expanding its mining infrastructure. In a major strategic move, DHI partnered with Singapore-based Bitdeer Technologies Group in 2023 to create a $500 million green crypto fund, further boosting Bhutan's mining capacities with state-of-the-art eco-friendly operations. And Bitcoin mining has already delivered tangible benefits to the Bhutanese society. In June 2023, the government sold $100 million worth of cryptocurrency to fund a historical 50% salary increase for civil servants. Since the raise, the number of government resignations has also dropped dramatically, from nearly 1,900 in the Q1 of 2023 to around 500 in Q1 of 2024. Bhutan is using its crypto revenues to invest in blockchain, AI, and digital finance, train programs for the youth, preparing for the next generation for a technology-driven future, according to the editor-in-chief of the Bhutanese newspaper. And despite its national-level Bitcoin mining strategy, Bhutan maintains a strict regulatory control over cryptocurrency use. Cryptocurrencies are still not legal tender in the country, and private crypto transactions are discouraged by authorities. And beyond mining, Bhutan is charting an even more ambitious course. The government is developing its own special administrative region that acts as an economic hub blended with digital innovation. The city will feature low-rise sustainable architecture, nature-integrated residential and commercial zones, national parks, as well as blockchain and AI innovation hubs. Here, Bhutan hopes to create a real-world model where technology, sustainability, and spiritual values coexist. And Bhutan is really not alone. The country is part of a growing trend of nations exploring Bitcoin as part of their national strategies. El Salvador holds over 550 million in Bitcoin and recognizes it as legal tender. The United States established a strategic Bitcoin reserve in 2024. The Central African Republic and France has also moved to recognize Bitcoin, yet few countries have integrated Bitcoin mining into their own national development models as comprehensive or as sustainable as Bhutan has. Globally, Bitcoin mining is often criticized for its enormous energy consumption, but Bhutan's approach is different. Every Bitcoin mined here uses 100% renewable hydropower, energy that might have otherwise gone to waste. Bhutan also plans to expand this hydropower capacity to 15 gigawatts over the next 10 to 15 years. While Bitcoin holdings represent nearly 30% of Bhutan's GDP, the kingdom has a significant bet on the future of cryptocurrency. A small mountainous nation turning surplus green energy into digital prosperity. By carefully managing its resources, leveraging its technology innovations, and staying true to its value, one that serves as a sustainable model for other countries. In the end, Bhutan's success won't be measured in dollars or Bitcoin reserve, but in well-being, happiness, and the future security of its people. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. And for more videos on culture, economics, and something that we all love, in this case Bitcoin, make sure to subscribe. And like always, I'll see you guys again next time.